Alternate Shadows are proud to present, for your listening entertainment, A Soldier's End, an original play by Alan Tolhurst. A trench somewhere on the Western Front, late summer 1917.
Good morning.
Oh, bloody hell. Already? I ask, what's so good about this morning?
We're alive. Surely that's a good thing.
Oh, I barely slept. How many hours did you get?
I think I just dozed off as that shell exploded.
Bloody hell, you've been up all night? I don't know how you do it, Fisher lad.
Do what exactly, Hughes, dear fellow?
Stay positive. Keep yourself going. Stay up all night and dodge those bleeding bullets like that. I mean, you're one lucky git.
I don't know if I'm lucky, mate. I've got a job to do and there's no time to sleep.
Oh, will you listen to yourself? No time to sleep. You sound like that pompous Captain Griffiths. What a sod he was to us. Whatever happened to him?
Took one in the back down in France somewhere, I heard. It was one of his men. Couldn't deal with the sod barking orders constantly and the like.
I'd sure like to shake that fella's hand. He's done both the Hun and us a bloody good favour.
Well, at least the rain stopped this morning and the sun is finally breaking through the grey clouds.
Oh, there you go again. You always find something more positive to focus on.
Well, I have to. I spend all my days living in a hole in the ground, living in a total nightmare. But when the sun shines, I feel more positive.
Morning, fellas. What are you looking at?
The sun. Look, Snowden, the sun is shining.
Well, I'll be. Finally, this here sodding rain we've been having has stopped. It ain't half caused this bleeding rats to run a nuisance in the mess kitchen.
Speaking of which, Snowden, me old mucker, you come bearing breakfast, I hope?
Yeah, sure thing, pal. I've got crispy bacon, fried eggs that were freshly laid by hens in the yard this morning. Oh yeah, and warm baked bread straight from the oven. We got plenty to go around.
Oh, really? I'll fill up me plate, boil.
No, you fool. It's just lukewarm tea.
Oh, that's great. The tea always tastes like paraffin from those bleeding containers. No bread and jam neither.
Sorry, pal. Not this morning. Maybe tomorrow.
Fill her up then, Snowden. I'll make do with the army ration biscuit.
Here, you'll never guess what. Some replacement from the 5th was on the top fixing the barbed wire, and he was busting for the loo. So much so that he dropped his trousers and bared his prettier face, should we say, to the Hun, whilst balancing over a shell hole, and the bullet shot him right in the arse. Here, he was hopping around like a schoolgirl playing hopscotch.
War is indeed hell.
Well, thank my britches it wasn't us.
Never underestimate those German snipers. They're a keen shot. You best keep your head down.
Yeah.
I mean it, Snowden. Too many lives wasted in this stinking mud, all for a few yards of land. You promised me you'll keep your head down.
All right, Mum, will do. Right, I'll best get a move on before this tea gets cold. Good day, fellas.
Remember the bread and jam tomorrow, and the rum too. And don't forget the bleeding tea.
Always a joker, he is.
Don't worry, my lad. Snowden could laugh those bleeding Germans to death with his jokes.
I'll tell you who else would laugh at one of his jokes. My Jessie. God, I wish I knew what she was doing right now.
Watch your heads!
Keep the home fires burning.
Do you think this war will ever end, Jessie?
I do hope so. I mean, it's been going on for nearly 4 years now.
Too many poor young boys being pointlessly killed, miles away from their loving mothers, in a land foreign to them. It's hard to fathom.
Audrey, dear, drink your tea. You'll feel better.
You're right, thank you.
I got myself a job.
You what? Are you mad?
Oh, don't be silly. I feel helpless sitting here wondering about our boys over there fighting for our freedom. That I feel I needed to be doing my part. I got a job working in the munitions factory. The shifts are long, but the pay's good.
My dear sweet girl, you are amazing. My father would never allow me to work. A woman's place is in the house running the home and family, he always used to say.
My father is proud of me and encouraged me to work.
What a fool he is.
I don't care what you think or say. Father is proud, and I know my Billy is proud. I'm doing my part. He always told me to go out into the world and make a difference. So I am.
I hadn't thought of it that way.
They're always looking for more women to work in the factory. I mean, if you're interested, I could get you a job.
Oh, no, I couldn't. Like I said, my father wouldn't really do that.
Screw your father.
Jessie!
Sorry, Audrey, but seriously, if you went home and talked to him, I'm sure that you can make him understand. You've no brothers out fighting the war, and this could be your family's contribution. Just think, for king and country, how proud would your father be?
Oh, you could be onto something there, Jessie.
It keeps me mind off
Off?
Billy. Every morning I walk down the hill into the town just to see the notice board outside the town hall with all the names of the fallen. I mean, I walk in a daze with my heart in my mouth that I will one day read Billy's name has been added to the list. Working in a factory kind of makes me feel closer to him. It's hard to explain.
Oh, that's awful. I'm sure Billy is just fine. I'm sure he has his wits about him.
Yes. Well, he was always the fastest boy in the school at the cross-country running.
There you see. Nothing to worry about. He has speed on his side.
But is that enough?
Oh dear, Jessie, best not think about that now. Be strong for him. That's all you can do. Well, I'd best be heading off. It looks like it's going to rain.
You best be off quick then before it pours down.
Ah, Sergeant Fisher. How are you this wet morning?
Morning, sir. It's quiet now. I think the Germans must have packed up and headed home, sir, because of the rain. Not a peep. Even the rats have vanished.
Jolly good, Fisher, jolly good. Hopefully they have. I could be at home right now. My feet warming by the fire. I digress. This here is young Butterfield.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Sergeant Fisher, but you can just call me Fisher.
Very pleased to make your acquaintance.
Where's Hughes?
I'm here. Morning, sir.
Good. I've got a job for you. Oh, don't you worry, Private. This here is Butterfield. He's just joined us as a replacement, and I need you to show him the ropes.
Certainly, sir. How do you do, lad?
Jolly pleased to meet you, Private Hughes.
I could just call me Hughes like the rest of the fellas do.
Sure. I mean, of course.
Don't you worry, lad. This here is Fisher.
You mean Sergeant Fisher?
We just met a moment ago.
Be a good fellow, Hughes, and show young Butterfield around, will you? I need a word with Fisher.
Yes, sir. Now, right, lad, this here is the front line, and over the top there is no man's land. Now, we don't go there unless we have to. Very cosy here in our trenches. Now, the Hun are just as cosy over there in their trenches. Now, follow this sign here to Leicester Square. It will lead you to the rest of the men.
Why Leicester Square?
Because Covent Garden is back that way. Now, follow me. I'll take you to meet the boys. They're all a bunch of good lads, really. Just mind you keep your head down, though. There are snipers stationed all along their line. Mind your head!
These replacements just keep getting younger and younger.
Yes, sir.
Young Butterfield, he's barely a man. You saw his face there. It's a terrible thing that the new replacements just get younger. It means we are losing more and more men. Boys, to be precise.
Yes, sir.
But I couldn't think of a more willing couple of soldiers that I would entrust to make a man out of young Butterfield.
Yes, sir, of course. Hughes and I will whip him into shape.
Jolly good. Pleased to hear it. Oh, by the way, he is General Ogden's nephew. So you've got to watch out for the lad.
Of course. We'll keep him safe.
Jolly good. And just make sure that you do your best.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and Fisher, my dear boy, we've had it on good form that the Germans are planning an attack in the coming days. But between you and I, it's a lot of hearsay. There are plans for a major offensive, so I'm going to need my best men ready and fit to fight. And that includes young Butterfield, but no special treatment. I can't be seen to be showing favouritism. Boys can be moulded into men.
Yes, sir. Boys can be moulded into men. Very good, sir. We'll have him ready.
Good, that's what I like to hear. Now, carry on as you were. Cheerio for now.
Cheerio, sir.
Bleeding heck, Fisher. Did you see that kid with Hughes?
Boys can be moulded into men.
Eh?
That's what Captain Stannard just said. He was here not 2 minutes back, bleating on about boys being moulded into men.
Oh, right. So, has that got anything to do with the new replacement Hughes is introducing to all the fellas?
He sure has. Stannard came along with his boy, barely out of school, and asked Hughes to show him around. You know young Butterfield is General Ogden's nephew.
No way. Well, I'll be. It's true. I heard some mumblings that his nephew was here, but I never guessed he'll be around doing it.
Guess we're the lucky buggers then. Stannard then starts telling me about a big attack the Germans are planning and our plans of a major offensive.
About bloody time too. I wish they'd hurry up so I can get myself home. I spent far too long here, wasting my life. I need purpose in life.
You mean other than chasing girls back home?
Well, yeah.
You're making a purpose here, in these damn trenches.
What, by pushing forward in a major offensive against the Hun?
It's all whispers, that. How many times have you heard about a potential attack and then nothing ever happens?
Yeah, like it would be all over by Christmas. Sure thing, because, that really happened.
I wish it would come to light. All this waiting around is painful.
All the time they don't shoot at us, the more chance we have to live.
Maybe we're living on borrowed time.
Maybe.
I'll take over on lookout. You can carry on writing that love letter of yours.
Dearest Jessie, my love, how are the days treating you? All well and good, I hope. The weather has not improved somewhat and still raining daily. I hope that the war will end soon. It's been quiet
of late, which is just the way I like it. It means there's no fighting. A recruiter's just joined us called Butterfield. He's still a boy, barely a man. He's General Ogden's nephew, in fact. I worry for him that he doesn't know what he's got himself into. Still, Hughes has taken him under his wing and is looking out for him. He continues to be a support and a good friend to me. If it wasn't for him, I don't know how I could cope. Snowdon, as always, keeps us entertained during those long days and his stories and jokes. You must tell me how you are doing and how the work is treating you. Such a strong, brave girl you are for working in the munitions factory. Well, my dearest, I will end here. Much love as always. Your loving Billy.
Gooey! Jessie, are you home?
Oh, hello. Yes, come on in. The door's open. Tea's just brewed.
What's that?
It's a letter from Billy.
How is he?
Alive.
Oh, well, that's something, isn't it?
He was just telling me about a recruit, a young lad called Butterfield. Says he's the nephew of General Ogden.
Can they do that? I mean, place new recruits with their families?
I guess so.
Father must know. I'll check with him. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. My sister Elsie gave birth the other night to a little girl called Beatrice. All healthy, 10 fingers, 10 toes, and lungs as loud as United supporters.
Oh, Audrey, that's wonderful news. Wouldn't you rather be there than sitting drinking tea with me?
Certainly not. Henry's mother is round and is clucking round the little one like a fussy old mother hen. I was there helping at the birth, so I was the first one to meet the baby.
Beatrice, that's such a beautiful name.
Named after my dear mother. Rest her soul.
Indeed. You must pass on my congratulations to Elsie and Henry. I should very much like to meet the new baby and have a cuddle.
Oh, I'm sure we can arrange that.
And what of Henry? Have you sent word?
Absolutely. Father was sure to get a photograph of Beatrice as soon as possible so Elsie could write to him.
Where's he stationed?
Goodness knows. I believe he is in Italy, but then I heard he was in Belgium last, so I just don't know.
Billy's in Belgium, I think.
Do you know where exactly?
No idea. Timbuktu for all I know.
Sounds romantic.
Timbuktu? I don't think so. He's in the middle of goodness knows where. Sounds more hellish to me. If it were romantic, then surely Billy would say so. I mean, how could anywhere be romantic where our boys are fighting there? I mean, maybe it was once upon a time.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I wish this war would end soon.
I do too. Tell me more about Elsie and Beatrice.
Well, Elsie is not having a very good time nursing, I can tell you. Oh man, is she suffering. She's not having good nights either.
It's okay, Butterfield. It's way off in the distance. There's nothing for you to worry about.
That's right. You only need to worry when the ground shakes and debris-mudden men are raining down on you.
Well, don't you fret, lad. We've got you.
Yeah, we've been here that long, the Hun probably thinks we've got home or something.
How long have you been here?
Oh, I reckon coming on about 18 months or so.
Yeah, I've been here 2 years now. Fisher up there, he's been here since the very beginning.
Really?
Yeah, that's right. He's seen it all. I don't know how he keeps going.
No feeling that's what it is. You see, young lad, when you've been here as long as him, you switch off to everything. Death becomes a normal part of life. Home is just a distant memory. Hell is where we are now. You accept it, or die. Simple fact.
I'll leave the boy alone. Don't be giving him nightmares now.
Evening, gentlemen.
Evening, sir.
Don't you go saluting the captain. That draws attention to any snipers wanting to shoot dead an officer.
As you were. Fisher,
Sir?
a word. I've got orders to send a patrol on a reconnaissance mission. I need 3 men to go across no man's land, capture a German and bring him back to us. We need details of the planned attack.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. I'll lead the mission.
No, I need you here. Send Hughes, Snowden and Peters.
But, sir, Peters is injured. He's in a field hospital.
Ah, okay. Then send Clayton.
He's dead, sir.
Keating.
Missing, sir.
Well, who else is there?
Snowden, Butterfield and me. Send me, sir. I'll go.
No, Fisher. Send Butterfield. He could do with some combat experience. Turn him into a proper man.
How about Harris, sir?
We'll have him in reserve ready to go in case they do come a cropper.
Yes, sir.
Schedule it for 0 and 100 hours. I'll leave you to tell the men. This will give young Butterfield a good view of no man's land.
Yes, sir.
Jolly good. Remember, Fisher, it's a full moon tonight. Less cloud, so I expect the men to be more careful and vigilant. Right. Best be on my rounds. Until later then, Fisher.
Yes, sir. Right, men. I need your full attention. Their orders. HQ wants a patrol to go on a reconnaissance patrol across no man's land to capture a German and bring him back here for questioning.
Who's going over? Oh shit, it's me, isn't it?
I'm afraid so, yes. The captain wants you to lead the patrol, and he wants 2 others to go with you.
Bloody great. I knew it would be me. They bloody want to have a tea party up at HQ and invite the Hun. Only trouble is, they bloody well don't know it yet, and we must go and give them the invite. And not only that, but bring them back with us. Oh, but so who else is going? It can't be Peters or Keating.
No. Butterfield.
Bloody hell, he's just a boy.
No. The orders are for Butterfield to go.
Yes, Sarge. I'll go.
Oh, this is bullshit, Fisher, and you know it.
I'll have you remember I'm the sergeant here, Hughes.
Sorry, Sergeant Fisher.
I hate to pull rank, but this is serious. It'll be Butterfield's first venture into no man's land. All men must do their duty. You know the rules.
I understand. And I'm ready.
Good stuff, lad. Now you run along with Snowden here and grab some ammo while I brief Hughes.
Come along, lad. I'll show you what we need.
Take a seat. I did try my best with Stannard. I begged him to send me and not the lad.
Well, I'm sorry, Fisher. It's just this sodding war.
Yeah, I know. Orders though, I'm afraid.
He's just a boy.
Listen, I've seen some things no man should ever have to see. But what can I do? I must send him. I trust you, Hughes, and I'll know you'll watch out for him. But I need you to watch out for yourself as well. Promise me, no silly play when you get out there. Creep in, grab the first German you see, and get yourself back here. No loitering, no fuss. In and out.
In and out.
Are we going in over here?
No, around the corner there. There's slightly more cover.
What are they like, Sergeant Fisher?
Who?
The Bosch, the Hun, the Germans.
Just like you and I, lad. Men fighting in a hole, in a land far from home. Don't you go worrying about that now. Just listen to Hughes and Snowden, keep your head down, do the job you're enlisted to do, and get back here safe.
Yes, sir.
Snowden, quick word. I need you to keep your wits about you. No funny business, okay?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I mean it, Snowden. Keep your head down. No time for joking around.
No, it's okay. I promise. No funny business. Just in and out.
Right, men. Get into position. Remember, Butterfield, follow Hughes and keep your head down. Low and steady does it.
Bloody hell, mind the barbed wire. No, watch out, the shell hole.
Keep your heads down.
Careful.
Look, quick, head up this one.
Oh!
Jessie? Jessie? Wake up, dear.
Oh, sorry. I must have dozed off. It's been a terribly busy week. The demand on munitions is forever growing. It must be getting worse over there.
Oh, please don't apologise, dear. I just wanted to pop in with the butter and the eggs.
Thank you. How much do I owe you?
Oh, don't worry about that now. You have some tea and get some rest.
Is that the newspaper you have there?
Yes. Would you like it?
Please, if you haven't read it, don't worry.
Oh, absolutely.
Does it have the names listed of the fallen? I've not had a chance to get down to the town hall this morning.
Believe it does. I've not read the list. I can't bear to see who's gone, so I just skip that page. OK, if I leave it here on the table, I've got to go. Take care, dear, and see you soon.
I'll see you out. Goodbye for now.
Adams, Brown, Butterfield, Crest, Daines, Edmonds, Finch, Garth, Hughes. Oh, dear God, no.
There you are, Fisher. I've been looking all over for you. Wonderful news on the capture of that German. Chap told us all we need.
Yes, sir.
Jolly good. And what of our men? I should like to congratulate them personally.
2 dead, sir.
Ah, terribly sorry about that, dear chap. Who?
Butterfield and Hughes.
Young Butterfield. Oh dear. General Alden will be disappointed to hear the news. Such an awful shame, really. He was just a boy, barely a man. And, Hughes, you said? Dreadfully sorry to hear that, old chap. I know he was one of your pals. War is hell. Still, object achieved, I'd say. Fantastic news there. Well done to the men.
Yes, sir.
And Snowden, what of him?
Injured, sir. I sent him straight back to the field hospital. He'll live.
Smashing. Pleased to hear it. I'll put him forward for a field promotion. Chap could do with moving up the ranks. He's such a fine young man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. There was one other thing, Fisher.
Sir?
More orders, I'm afraid. We're going over the top. And today, I might add. HQ feel that now we know the Germans' plans, we can push forward with this war, claim victory, and be on our way home. All men are to go over. That means you too, Sergeant. I need you, up front, leading the rest of the men. So if you get your effects in order, as we don't have long. I'll be heading along the line, so if you get the men ready... Oh, and make sure you don't forget your tot of rum, too.
Yes, sir. Will do, sir. The whistles blew and the madness began. Men dashed about, lost without any sense of direction. The bullets buzzed about like bees, and the barrage turned the sky black. Men were reduced to a puff of crimson in the blink of an eye. The mud sucked at our ankles, and the flak rained down on us. There was nowhere to go except forwards, towards the bombardment. The ground was strewn with the dead and dying. Boys sobbed for their mothers, but still, onwards we went. The loss of so many for so little in a dirt hole in a foreign land seemed so pointless. What was it all for? Misery, pain, destruction, all around, and all any of us wanted was for the insanity to end. Then bang! I was hit. In an instant, all went silent. The pain seeped through my veins. My body slumped into a dirt hole. The pain so intense, I felt nothing. The life left my body, and the pain was over. The end. The end.
Sergeant Fisher was played by Tony Appleton, Private Hughes, Richard Harding, Private Snowden, Steve Perrin, Captain Stennard, David Hutley, Private Butterfield, Alan Tolhurst, Jessie, Sophia Harding, and Audrey by Kerry Thompson. Music was written and performed by Graham Tolhurst, and the sound, recording and engineered by Mick Harris. The play was produced by Richard Harding and Alan Tolhurst. Direction by Richard